Welcome everybody, James here. Today I've got another video about one-page rules, what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks because I haven't had a video out, and show you some of my painting that I've just started. So first thing we'll talk about then is why I haven't actually posted a video in some time. It's actually because I was in the process of moving and it was taking up a lot of my time. I also then had a new job to think about, so that was making me quite tired. The next thing was outside of getting to know a new game group, I haven't had much games yet. So yeah, it's just been slow because of that, but it should pick up quite significantly. So in terms of games, I've actually played I played some Grimdark Future at the club with somebody who was interested. It was kind of cobbled together at probably about 1350 points or something around that sort of mark, that I had to split with my Prime brothers that I had on me. It wasn't intended to actually have a game, but the guy didn't actually bring it down, like his army, so I think he thought something different. But either way, we did actually play a game, and it was very fun. We did the 4 rounds. There wasn't a lot left on the board as we expected, but I did actually lose, but that's fine, I don't mind losing. And it was just a whole load of fun. It was the first time obviously that I had played it in person, and for that other person as well, and I think that 1350 point game took around 45 minutes. So yeah, that is really, really good for a pickup game on the fly. I mean, that included me getting the 2 army lists together as well. And 45 minutes to learn a game system, play it in its entirety, and have a good time. And be reasonably sure that you got the rules right, is really good. that I think is a non-existent barrier to entry. There is learning the rules. They're just so simple. There was a couple of things that we did forget now that I've actually looked back on it. For instance, when I had the attack walker, I completely forgot that it had stomp attacks, which would have come in handy. Like it wouldn't have been game changing, because he actually won, and he was the one that had the attack walker. But still, I did forget that. But I do think pretty much everything else was fine. We did the standard setup, so we rolled the dice for objectives. We got 5. We then took it in turns. Then we did the whole setting up of units one by one, and that all seemed to go very smoothly. He didn't seem to have any trouble picking up the rules either. Because obviously there was a difference, so I had read the rules several times prior to that, whereas he did not. But yeah, all in all, as a first game, I thought that went really well. The second game that I had was actually solo here. My bed is slightly larger than the 6x4, so I simply took it down to the mattress, had some Paul Hammer terrain, and I played against the AI. It was my new robot legions that I've just spent a load of money on. So that was kind of my gift for this Christmas, was a whole load of Necrons. And that's what I've been busy painting up. So I've actually been spamming Facebook and Discord with pictures of my progress. And I'm going to get that on screen now. There we go. So this is just an example of one of the, well, say one of the flyers, the flyer. And I am using Hobby Knight's Necron glowy video guide for that one, which is a heavy dry brushing variant. So the last like year and a half I've actually all been contrast, so I was looking for a change up, and this is actually going quite well. So this is obviously just a an in progress one. It's still not painted. I've actually got it here, so I've done the other side now. I do need to finish it, so the underside there, and I also need to do all of the inside as well. So the idea there is that the outside is all of the kind of the movement section, instead of just the back. It is the side as well. I don't know if it's actually explained at all in 40k how it functions, but doesn't really matter, not to me anyway. So currently it's just the purple prime, the 2 blue dry brushes, and then the moat green around the outside on the driver and the guns, etc. There will be a third colour, which will be the oranges and yellows, and that will be on the tips of the guns, and it's also where I will do the thrusters at the back as well. So that will be a very vibrant orangey yellow eventually. I've got 3 of the scarab swarms done. So the scarab swarms are done first. So the camera is really not, like the webcam is not a good place to show this off, but I have pictures all over the One Page Rules Discord if you want to join that and take a look at them. I'm doing updates like every few hours. The latest thing that I did was the teleport section on it, and this with the Doom Cannon thing. The Doom Cannon is actually my favourite out of all of this, and it's not even done yet. So the tips of this will be the orangey yellow, and well, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be, but so currently it's my favourite model, and it's, yeah, really cool looking. The green came out perfectly. I did several dry brushes on the crystal, and then I did like 2 Tesseract glows of the technical paint over the top, and it came out really, really nice. So the good thing about this Tesseract glow is that it has a very slight sheen into it. So it's not like the gloss, it's not like a full gloss, I would say. It's about half and half, and it does look quite cool. And I've dotted like all of the scarab things, and pretty much everything that is one of those little balls and energy balls has had Tesseract glow. And even though it's basically the same colour as moat green, the difference is really striking. So that's the painting side. I've also primed a whole load of other stuff. I'm not completely done with what I have. So built and primed, I've got all of the Indomitus now. I've also got most of the Christmas Battle Force, and it's actually the start collecting that is that's kind of lagging behind now. So most of that still needs to be built. So I've got 2 heavy Locust destroyers. So this is to build still. 2 of the Ophelian, I think they're called, destroyers. That is because I actually have I need to get the bases, so I bought the Indomitus on eBay but without bases because I thought I had all of them, but I'm actually missing 250 mils and 260 mils now, which is quite annoying. So yeah, 2 of those, the Lord with the scythe, 10 warriors, 10 immortals / death marks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. Wargames exclusives have a resin kit of bodies for that kit because you get so many left over. It's about $25, which I think is about £18 or so each, somewhere around that. And yeah, they have bodies for the Necrons and death marks that you can just put the additional weapons on that are left behind. So that obviously is more money. I don't know if I want to do that. If I do, I will probably just get all of the immortal ones and build up the death marks with the standard bodies. Because I didn't want like I don't want 2 sets of immortals with different, like one is Tesla, one is the Gauss cannons. What are they called? You know what I mean? What the Gauss weapon type that they have. I didn't want those on 2 bodies, so yeah, they'll be separated. Unless of course I find it not worthwhile. Like, it is a pretty heavy investment, but it is cheaper overall if I just if I want 10 death marks, 10 immortals with Tesla and 10 with the Gauss. It is cheaper to go Wargames exclusive, but it may also just be possible to get the bits separately. That might be cheaper, I don't know. Well, yeah, I'll look into it. The one thing that I wish they would do though is do the same for the warriors. So they've got them for the immortals and death marks, but I don't have them for warriors yet. And there's actually 10 weapons that are effectively missing. Although I'm not sure if that's to do with, maybe the left hand is missing. Maybe you only get 1 set. Give me a second. Okay, yes, so they are actually missing the left arm. So if Wargames exclusives did do that, they would have to build the arm into the kit. It's possible that would then make it not worthwhile doing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But overall, The build process so far has been pretty good. I mean, I took a lot of scratches and cuts to my fingers, so I did actually have to stop to heal up. I've got a big one there on the thumb, another big one on the thumb there, like 3 on the left thumb, a big one on the small finger. Yeah, so I had to stop, and at which point I decided to just prime what I had. And because I don't actually start work until the 4th, which is also why I'm unshaven, I have given myself the task of speed painting, essentially. So I'm hoping to get at least everything that is currently primed done for the 4th, and hopefully I will be able to build and do the rest of it as well for the 4th. You never know. I mean, I have 0 plans for this year all the way up until the 4th. So, and the 4th is actually the first gaming night of the new year. So yesterday was cancelled, and yeah, I'll be able to game and actually probably game with, because there's actually now I think 5 or 6 people that I've managed to get interested with the rules. So I've actually handed out 2 sets of the core rules, so that's really good. So probably one of them will be able to have a game on the first Tuesday on the 4th. So that'd be good. And yeah, I mean that's it currently. That's the update. I never actually said how the AI game went, did I? So I actually lost that one as well. Done it. So yeah, that was the Robot Legions versus Prime Brothers at 2,000 points. And again, it was actually fun. The AI rules are fine. They're not perfect by any means. I think next time, because I've actually this is another good one. So I spent a load of other money yesterday or early this morning, buying a load of TT Combat MDF terrain. So I've actually bought not everything, because I think 1 or 2 pieces were out of stock, but I bought all of the Cyber MDF, which is the Necron stuff. And yeah, some of this is like really big stuff. So as an example, this here is the first MDF kit I ever bought. In fact, it's the only MDF kit, because at the time it was I was playing War Machine, but then shortly after I got this, I had to move, and I wasn't near a wargaming club anymore. So, but yeah, this is a 20 centimeter one, I believe. Yeah, so this is a 20 centimeter, and the 2 big kits. There's actually 3 big kits. So there's 1 giant, which I don't think I picked up because I think that was out of stock. But the 2 others, which are like monoliths, one of them broken, one of them unbroken. So relays is what they're called. So I picked up both relays, and they're like 25 by 25. So yeah, imagine like 2 of these side by side, and then a little bit bigger. So it's but then there's like a load of pylons. There's like all sorts coming. So everything that I could pick up, I picked up. So my next game will actually be with some proper terrain, whether it's at the club or on my bed again. Doesn't really matter. But I will take some pictures at that point. I did actually start videoing the AI game, but midway through I just realised that it wasn't good footage, that I needed like some sort of stand. In fact, I'm looking into getting a second-hand DSLR for it, because I don't think my phone camera was good, but it's not great. If I had something like an iPhone with like a much better camera, I probably would have just used that, but I'm actually using a Redmi Note 2, whatever, which is decent, but it's not, I don't think it's quite there. It can't get good quality, that sort of a range. So that's the looking into a DSLR. So I've been looking, and I think the Nikon 3300 looks to be a contender. It's about £240 or so on eBay, and yeah, but I'm looking at other options as well. If anybody's got any suggestions, because I don't know anything about cameras really. Like, I'm not going to buy a new one because the cost of those is just way too much for how much I'm actually going to use it. But I do want something reasonable, and even though these second-hand DSLRs are like, I think they're like 8 years old or something on the Nikon, they were really good at the time, and cameras don't look like they've changed all that much. The 3300s can do like 1080p at 60. That was the thing that I was looking for. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a 4K within my budget, which is about 250. I'm prepared to go up to that, but not anymore, because I simply don't know enough, and before investing I actually need to learn how to use them. So it's not I'm going to get it, and it's probably going to seem like I've wasted my money. I don't believe I will in the end, but I'll need to practice first. So yeah, that's how it's looking at the moment. There's a couple of other things that I plan on doing before the next video. Things like reading up on some of the secondary games. So last time I was at the club, I couldn't actually get a game in, but they had a game of zombies with like 6 players, and I was watching them there, and we got into like a really nice big conversation, and they were talking about like fleet combat. So I mentioned that there was the FTL game variant, so they were interested in that, so I looked into that. They also mentioned that they had a Frostgrave campaign going on, and they invited me to join, so I will probably take them up on that, because that looks quite interesting. I've had a basic look through, and it looks simple enough. God knows what I'll use as miniatures though, but they did say that they'd provide some until I could get something. So that's pretty cool. I've had plenty of people ask me about 40k, probably about 4 people, and I've had to turn all of those down, mentioning one-page rules instead. But naturally they looked disappointed that I didn't want to play 40k, but I did say why, as diplomatically as I could. And what else? What else is there? Oh, magic. So apparently there's a pretty big Magic the Gathering presence here. So that's really exciting. So I actually started with Magic the Gathering. Wow. No, that's not quite right. I did start with 40k, but it was really, really bad 40k. Like, first time 40k, so painting was awful. List building was awful. I think I lost every game ever. But the first, I'm not going to say competitive, but the first consistent game was Magic the Gathering, and I really miss it. So a second thing, oh my god, the amount of money that I've spent in December is crazy. I spent about 130 quid on Magic the Gathering stuff, because I have nothing. Ended up buying like, I think it's 7 of the starter things. They're like 35 cards. You're supposed to add 25 land and you've got a deck. In fact, you know what? Let me bitch about Magic the Gathering for a second. So I'm really annoyed about the current state of the getting in to Magic the Gathering, because out of all of these things that I bought, so I ended up getting like a big deck. A big chunk of the money was actually the deck holder, which is like this massive thing about this big. It's like 45 quid or something like that. So that was a big chunk of it. But also bought up 3 packs of sleeves, which isn't enough. I need to buy more. Yeah, so 7 of those big, like, they're like semi-random or something like that. Also picked up the bundle, which is like, I want to say 8 boosters, as well as a dice counter. And actually later found out when I got home that the store owner actually put 2 free packs of boosters in the bag. So I'm not sure if he's ever going to see this, but thank you. And mentioned that there's like Friday Night Magic going on, but there's also plenty at like the regular club as well. So I mentioned that I would do a load of casual gamings. I don't want to, like, this Friday Night Magic, but I was never a super competitive Magic player. I was always into constructed, so what was it called, base constructed or something like that, set constructed. So basically everything that was in standard, but I would gravitate towards set, even to the point of not really putting the core cards in, because I really wanted that flavour over being able to win. And then the occasional tribe deck, so had Thalids, liked my Thalids, had a Merfolk one that started out in Innistrad, but was it Innistrad? I think it was Innistrad, but then I did gravitate towards just Modern, I think it's called, which is basically everything. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the current way that they get people in. These 35 card semi-random decks. So the old starter sets had like 4 rares and 2 boosters, and land. and the counter, these ones, it only comes with like 35 cards, no land. So like, where are you supposed to get the land from? Then even the gift bundle, it has 20 foil of each land and then 20 unfoil. But then it's just like awkward land, isn't it? Like, if you want all foil or just like all regular. But I think I'm gonna, any new player is gonna have to get one of those gift ones for those land. Now, thankfully, the club did have a load of extra land, but I'm just thinking, like, you get those land a lot of the times from those core sets, right? From getting the starter 60 card decks, right? So now that those aren't there, how are these clubs getting stocks of land to give out? Because you only get 30 something land that's randomized in like a booster box. So even if you did a draft, like 1 and a bit players can have land. I don't understand. Can somebody explain that? Yeah, but aside from that pet peeve, I'm glad that we're back in Innistrad. Everything that I bought was Crimson Vow, and yeah, I'm probably gonna get the last set as well. So the first block of Innistrad, and then the 2 gift bundles as well. Trying to like do the same for each and go from there. Like, it's not a competitive way of doing it at all. But as I said, I'm not one for competitiveness. I'll be more inclined to just make a cube. Never done a cube before, but that seems right up my alley for, you know, how I view gaming these days. Like, back in the day, 10 years ago, like, I say I wasn't competitive, but I did want to win. So I would go out and buy singular cards. But nowadays, I just don't care enough. I'm more into the casual play than anything. So we'll see how that goes. Like, it's a way to pass the time until playing more games. So you might be able to get a couple of games of Magic in before like your opponent arrives for the night, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been my life for the last several weeks. I hope to do a lot more videos now that life has settled a bit. So I'm actually a month into the job, and it's going really, really well. I'm liking the club, liking the people there. And yeah, hopefully the next video will have a lot of pictures of my new Necrons. So yeah, that'd be really cool. Also, I don't actually have pictures to show you, but another thing that I did do right before going, I swear, is I finally finished painting the full 2,000 point list of Prime Brothers that I had made up for the testing stuff. So the idea was actually to bring 2,000 point armies, Robot Legions versus Prime Brothers. So all of the Prime Brothers are actually painted and based and everything. And had a lot of people at the club saying that they really liked them. So yay. So yep, thank you for watching. I know this was a very long one. Yeah, I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye bye.